was 30.17 inches and falling. Brownsville, cloudy, temperature 68 degrees. Laredo, cloudy, temperature 60 degrees. Cotulla, cloudy, temperature 62 degrees. San Antonio, cloudy, temperature 55 degrees. Victoria, cloudy, 53 degrees. At Port Aransas, winds north at 21 knots. Seawater temperature 68 degrees. At the buoy 90 nautical miles east of Port Aransas, northeast winds at 25 knots. Seawater temperature was 72 degrees. Waves are 10 feet with a period of 8 seconds. At buoy 42,020, winds were northeast at 23 knots. Air temperature 64 degrees. Wave height 10 feet. Wave period 8 seconds. The forecast for the Kingsville area. Rest of today, mostly cloudy. Cooler. Near steady temperature in the mid-60s. North winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy. Lows in the lower 50s inland, in the mid-50s coast. North winds around 10 miles an hour with gusts to around 25 miles an hour in the evening becoming light. Monday, partly cloudy. Highs in the mid-70s inland, in the lower 70s coast. Light east winds increasing to around 10 miles an hour in the afternoon. Here is the synopsis for the Middle Texas coastal waters. A strong north to northeast flow will persist through much of the day in the wake of the cold front that moved through this morning. As a result, small craft advisories are in effect for the bays and Gulf waters today. Rain chances diminish through this afternoon as drier and cooler air moves into the area. Strong winds are expected to gradually diminish from north to south through the evening as high pressure moves into the region. Weak to moderate northeast flow returns Monday. Weak to moderate onshore flow is expected to commence late Tuesday, increasing to moderate onshore flow by Thursday, as surface high pressure moves east, and as surface low pressure develops over the southern plains. Increasing moisture will contribute to a slight chance for showers Thursday. The marine forecast for the bay waters from Baffin Bay to Port Aransas. Small craft advisory in effect until 1 p.m. Central Daylight Time this afternoon. Rest of today, north wind around 20 knots decreasing to 15 to 20 knots in the afternoon. Bays choppy to occasionally rough. A slight chance of showers late in the morning. Tonight, north wind 10 to 15 knots decreasing to 5 to 10 knots after midnight. Bays slightly choppy to occasionally choppy. Monday, north wind around 5 knots shifting northeast in the afternoon. Bays smooth to slightly choppy. Monday night, east wind 5 to 10 knots shifting northeast after midnight. Bay smooth to slightly choppy. The marine forecast for the bay waters from Port Aransas to Port O'Connor. Small craft advisory in effect until 1 p.m. Central Daylight Time this afternoon. Rest of today, northeast wind 20 to 25 knots decreasing to 15 to 20 knots in the afternoon. Bays choppy to rough. A slight chance of showers late in the morning. Tonight, northeast wind 10 to 15 knots decreasing to 5 to 10 knots after midnight. Bays slightly choppy to occasionally choppy. Monday, northeast wind 5 to 10 knots. Bays smooth to slightly choppy. Monday night, east wind around 5 knots shifting northeast after midnight. Bays smooth to slightly choppy. The marine forecast for the coastal waters of Baffin Bay to Port Aransas out to 20 nautical miles. Small craft advisory in effect until 10 p.m. Central Daylight Time this evening. Rest of today, northeast wind 20 to 25 knots becoming north around 20 knots late. Seas 4 to 6 feet with occasional seas up to 8 feet. A slight chance of showers and thunderstorms late in the morning. Tonight, north wind around 20 knots becoming northeast 10 to 15 knots late tonight. Seas 4 to 6 feet with occasional seas up to 8 feet. Monday, northeast wind 5 to 10 knots. Seas 3 to 5 feet with occasional seas up to 6 feet. Monday night, northeast wind 5 to 10 knots. Seas 2 to 3 feet. forecast for the coastal waters of Port Aransas to Matagorda ship channel out to 20 nautical miles. Small craft advisory in effect until 10 p.m. Central Daylight Time this evening. Rest of today, northeast wind 20 to 25 knots decreasing to around 20 knots late. Seas 5 to 7 feet with occasional seas up to 9 feet. A slight chance of showers and thunderstorms late in the morning. Tonight, northeast wind around 20 knots decreasing to 10 to 15 knots late tonight. Seas 4 to 6 feet with occasional seas up to 8 feet. Monday, northeast wind 5 to 10 knots. Seas 2 to 4 feet with occasional seas up to 5 feet. Monday night, northeast wind 5 to 10 knots. Seas 2 to 3 feet. The marine forecast for the coastal waters from Baton Bay to the Matagorda ship channel out to 60 nautical miles. Small craft advisory in effect until 10 p.m. Central Daylight Time this evening. Rest of today, northeast wind 20 to 25 knots. Seas 6 to 8 feet with occasional seas up to 10 feet. A chance of showers and a slight chance of thunderstorms late in the morning. Tonight, northeast wind 20 to 25 knots decreasing to 10 to 15 knots after midnight. Seas 6 to 8 feet with occasional seas up to 10 feet subsiding to 4 to 6 feet with occasional seas up to 8 feet after midnight. Monday, northeast wind 10 to 15 knots. Seas 3 to 5 feet with occasional seas up to 6 feet. Monday night, northeast wind 10 to 15 knots. Seas 3 to 4 feet with occasional seas up to 5 feet. NOAA Weather Radio WNG609 is the voice of the National Weather Service, broadcasting 24 hours a day on a frequency of 162.525 megahertz from the National Weather Service office in Corpus Christi. Transmitter facilities are located atop the Riviero Telephone Company Tower in Riviero, Texas. Tests of the NOAA Weather Radio Warning Alarm device for the WNG609 listening area are normally conducted on Wednesdays between 11 a.m. and noon. During periods of severe weather, warnings and statements will replace normal programming. Port Aransas jetty tides. Today, low at 9:57 a.m., high at 4:53 p.m., low at 10:11 p.m. Monday, high at 3:55 a.m., low at 10:43 a.m., high at 5:04 p.m., low at 10:39 p.m. Sea water temperature at Port Aransas is 67 degrees. Port O'Connor tides. Today, high at 4:37 a.m., low at 12:54 p.m., high at 9:16 p.m. Monday, low at 12:17 a.m., high at 6:02 a.m., low at 1:21 p.m., high at 8:33 p.m. Sea water temperature at Port Lavaca is 69 degrees. Notable but below creek flood levels expected on the Oso Creek for the Oso Creek near Corpus Christi. Latest stage, 17.6 feet at 9 a.m. Sunday. Flood stage, 20.0 feet. Thankful and caution stage, 11.0 feet. Forecast. The creek will continue a slow fall, but will remain above caution stage for the next few days. Stay tuned to NOAA Weather Radio, local TV and radio stations, or cable TV outlets for the latest weather information, as additional rainfall could affect crest forecasts. The current time is 1:50 p.m. Central Daylight Time. The small craft advisory will expire at 1 p.m. Central Daylight Time this afternoon. Winds across the base have been gradually diminishing, but small craft should still exercise caution this afternoon. A small craft advisory remains in effect until 10 p.m. Central Daylight Time this evening. Winds northeast 20 to 25 knots, waves seas 5 to 7 feet, with occasionally higher seas. A small craft advisory means that wind speeds of 20 to 33 knots and or seas of 7 feet or greater are expected to produce hazardous conditions to small craft. Inexperienced mariners, especially those operating smaller vessels, should avoid navigating in these conditions. Mariners should pay close attention to the marine forecast and consider wind and sea conditions in planning. Here are the 1 p.m. South Texas weather observations. At Kingsville, cloudy. temperature 60 degrees, dew point 57, and the relative humidity 89%. Winds north at 12 miles an hour. The pressure 30.18 inches and steady. Across the area, Alice, cloudy. Temperature 59 degrees. Fall Furious, cloudy. Temperature 61 degrees. At Hebronville, visibility 10 miles. Temperature was 58 degrees, dew point 55. Wind was northeast at 14 miles an hour. And the pressure was 30.17 inches and falling. Brownsville, cloudy, temperature 68 degrees. Laredo, cloudy, temperature 60 degrees. Cotulla, cloudy, temperature 62 degrees. San Antonio, cloudy, temperature 55 degrees. Victoria, cloudy, 53 degrees. At Port Aransas, winds north at 21.
That was a channel cycle, first on YouTube, Kingsville, WNG609, I believe. We're still here in Kingsville, Texas. I'm so sorry for the talk in the background, guys. That's my grandparents, my grandfather, and my mom just arguing over and over and over. I'm so sorry for that, guys. But anyway, that's it for now, and that's all.